Straight ahead on the Drift, a visit to South Shore Boat Works for a look at how decades-old craftsmanship is used in modern-day wheel design. And we are at the helm with Boat US for some helpful line handling tips. Also, we learn about the good works of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy with national shark celebrity Dr. Greg Skomal. Plus, Towboat US Captain Clint Allen is here to let us know the difference between a tow job and a salvage job. And a super yacht refit. Mr. Yachts is at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, spending time with an Italian beauty. Hello and welcome back to The Drift. I'm Sierra Goodwill. Tucked away in a small South Shore, Massachusetts shop is a boat building operation that has been delivering quality to boaters for over 3 generations. This week on Boat Build, John heads back to the South Shore Boat Works to see how they use decades-old techniques to build modern wheels.
So Bob, this is the more contemporary wheel,
well,
right?
This is actually in between what's new and old. This is a wheel that that I developed for Edson back about 20 years ago.
Yeah, this looks like the classic Edson HUD.
It is, and I developed all the patterns for the casting and the wheel. But in this case, the end customer brought this wheel to me because he wanted me to build a new rim. And so this is the rim. So what I did was glued it up, fit it, and we're still fitting it. We've got the powerboat knob.
Awesome.
In this case, the powerboat knob has to go here.
Right.
In the wheels that I build now, marketed through South Shore Boat Works, the powerboat wheels, I actually put the powerboat knob on the spoke.
Okay.
Because that way it doesn't interfere with you using the wheel.
Sure.
But now this is, we still do all the business, all the wheels for Edson, and my family's been building wheels for them since 1965.
Really?
Yeah.
So this gets highly varnished. The back side of this has sort of the hold, the indents for a hold, right?
Yep. And yeah, this is something I've been developing for the last 2 years, was the finger grips for the back.
It's got a good feel about it.
Yeah, and you have to be rounded off a little bit, but you're getting that positive grip like you would in a car, which is important. So yeah, so these are typical of what we're doing.
So you said your grandfather started making wheels?
Yes.
Amazing. Like, tell me about that.
Well, my grandfather was Charles Fuller, and then my father is Robert Fuller, and they had a shop in Halifax where it was a pattern shop making patterns for bronze hardware, but they were also building wheels. And about 1965, they answered an ad in a paper to build wheels for someone, basically subcontractor. Right. And then we're still doing it with that same company on a handshake agreement today.
Amazing. That's a true New England boat builder, craftsman, artisan story. Yeah. 3 generations deep, building the same wheel that your grandfather built all those years ago.
Well, I'm lucky that I feel as though I got a very good start with my family, because there is no place to learn this. There are no schools. I'm kind of stuck between the worlds of being a furniture maker, and the closest I would say would be a pattern maker or a cabinet maker, and the boat builders. The boat building schools do not teach these skills.
Right.
And furniture schools, they only want to work with furniture. They don't think that wheels are furniture. And what I say is that for a steering wheel, it's a piece of fine furniture that has to stand up to the elements.
Congrats, nice work.
Keeping tradition alive. Love it. Always, you can find more about South Shore Boat Works at driftsociably.com and at Drift Sociably on social media. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and drift sociably with us. Straight ahead on the Drift, your boat is sinking. It's a salvage job. Are you covered? Towboat Captain Clint Allen has the answer, and it may surprise you. And Mr. Yachts has found another super beauty, and this one has had an amazing rehab. The tour is straight ahead.
At the Helm is brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here.
You know the story. You're at the helm and you ask someone on the dock to throw you the line, and they throw it to you with nothing tied to the dock. True story. Whether it's tossing a line to someone or lassoing a piling to tie up, anyone who boats will need to learn how to handle dock lines at some point. Today on At the Helm with Boat US, some helpful tips on line handling.
This is important stuff, starting with coiling a line, because let's face it, if you're pulling into a dock and you need to get a line quick and you reach into your locker and you pull out this, it's not going to do you much good. The important thing to bear in mind is you're not just making loops, right? You want to actually roll your hand as you bring the line from one hand to the other. This lays the twist into the coil so it sits nicely and neatly. Once you've got that nice neat coil in your hand, you can finish it off by wrapping around the top, taking the end, going down through the loop you just made, give a little tug down on that loop, and then pulling it tight. Now you have an end you can wrap around a rail, or you can just put this in a rope locker and it's ready to go whenever you need it. You just grab it, pull that right through, there's your coil. Now let's say it's a windy day. You're trying to pull up alongside the fuel dock. You need to throw a line in because the wind's holding you off. Well, what you don't want to do is take your line out of the rope locker and then try and throw the end. It won't go very far. What works much better is coiling the rope in your hand and then throwing the entire coil. Now you can tell this is a pretty wimpy line, and I'm not making real far throws. When you need to throw a heavy line or you need to throw farther, first, again, coil the line, make it nice and neat. Take the end of the line, leave it on the ground and stand on it so you don't accidentally lose your line, and then split the coil between your two hands. There we go. Your left hand can go palm up, facing the direction you're going to throw, so line can simply spill right off of it. Again, we're going to do the same kind of throw. Underhand, I'll release right at about waist height, and away we go. Now let's take a look at something that's a little more challenging, throwing a loop around a piling. First off, don't try and throw this around a piling. You could do that all day long and never make it happen. Instead, take your main line and pass it through the existing loop, then make a really big loop with it, and throw the entire loop, not just the line. Of course, I'm standing on the end right now. If you're on your boat, you want to make sure it's cleated off. Send that whole loop around the piling, pull it tight, and you're ready to rock and roll.
Those are awesome line handling tips, Lenny. Once again, you've made boating better. For more better boating tips, go to BoatUS.com, because better boating starts with Boat US. And now it's time for From the Cast. Is it a tow or a salvage? And who makes the call? Towboat Captain Clint Allen has the answer.
All right, Clint, the big question that we get a lot, we just had a storm in our area, and many boats ended up on the rocks. Some ended up on marshes. So as a matter of fact, I saw you on the back of a heavy tow pulling a boat out of the water. And when you see Clint Allen of Towboat US on the back of a heavy tow truck lifting a boat out of the water, if that's your boat, you're probably not having a good day.
Right?
All right?
Yeah.
But we want to talk about towing and towing membership and salvage.
All right.
What's the difference?
Okay, so towing is similar to, everybody's familiar with AAA for automobiles.
Yep.
We're the same thing. Our towing membership, you buy the membership, $179 annually.
The best buy on the planet, by the way.
Well,
I like to say the
many-
cost of
many
a
say,
dinner for
right?
two at the marina,
Yeah.
and you get towed from back to your home port from anywhere, right?
Right, and once you become a member, you get free towing.
Great.
And salvage is a whole different ballgame. So with your towing membership, if your boat sinks, you're not covered. And we hear it a lot. People call me up and say, "Oh, my boat sunk at the
Well,
dock."
what if it's sinking?
Same thing. The minute we put a pump on
What
a boat,
constitutes sunk?
Well, it could be many different things, and
Taking on water?
Yeah, we have it all the time at the marinas.
Okay.
The guy will come down and boat sunk right at the slip.
Okay.
And what the cause is, it could be this last storm that you mentioned. We had 2 boats in one marina in New Bedford, and both of them were sunk because they had their sterns to the wind.
Okay.
So the wave action lapped over the boat.
I know the boat. I saw the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, it got filled with water. The bilge pumps will die. Batteries will kill the bilge. The bilge pump will kill the battery. Eventually, the batteries are dead. Water keeps coming in. There was a long storm. There was 18 hours of continuous wave action. So how that fella could have prevented his boat from sinking was simply turn it around and put the bow into the wind. So, but they sink for many reasons, and when they do, it's a salvage. Towboat US is for towing only.
Okay.
And again, I use the analogy of it's like AAA on the, for your automobile. If your automobile goes down a big embankment 150 feet into the woods, AAA is not coming to tow you out.
Okay.
That's going to be an insurance job. Yeah, you have to have insurance, and that's if anybody takes anything away from this, insurance.
But very good point.
Yeah.
Check your hull insurance, which is your overall insurance, because your towboat insurance isn't going to help you if you're hot on the rocks after a storm, if you've sunk at your marina. Very good tips, Cap.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Valuable information as always there, Clint. And remember to follow the Drift podcast at driftsociably.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. Straight ahead on The Drift, and he's one of the faces of Shark Week. And today he's here to talk about what it feels like when a great white gets up close and personal.
The Drift is brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here.
It's that time again to feature and salute those people and organizations who selflessly give back, those who care, because the Drift cares. Cape Cod is an aggregation site for great white sharks, presenting a rare research opportunity. The good folks of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy, along with Dr. Greg Scommel, are taking advantage of that opportunity because they care.
So you've probably seen that guy on the front of the boat working to tag a great white. This thing was all over social media and got a lot of energy. And with us today is that guy, Greg Scommel. So I want to start out, all the work you've done has been amazing. And now you've got this one viral video clip that just kind of caught on fire. Tell me about what was going on there. Just kind of give me a setup for that clip. That was amazing stuff.
And our goal is to videotape, identify, and tag white sharks off the coast of Cape Cod. And this particular day, we were following a white shark, although I could not see it. We used a spotter plane, and my pilot was up in the air, and he saw it, and he said, you know, you're coming up on a shark, and the water visibility was really horrible. And what I have in my hand is a pole with a camera on it. And the first thing I do is we try to get videotape of the shark, see if we know who it is. It's got a tag, a male, a female, those kinds of things. And as I came up on the shark, I could not see it. I'm looking down. You can see in the video, I'm looking down, and out of nowhere, from below me, this shark bolts right out, comes up into the air, and makes a go at me, and it opens its mouth. And when I looked down, all I saw was looking straight down the mouth of this shark into its throat. And
now, when you say when you say make a go at you, so a guy like me, a shark that size makes a go at me once, I think I'm out of the shark business. What do you mean by make a go at you?
Well, I thought a lot about this incident, and I don't know whether, some people thought maybe we spooked the shark, but the way this shark was coming out of the water with its mouth wide open,
right,
tells me that it was clearly interpreted, and I think it was interpreting my image on the surface of the water as some kind of prey item. And so it came up out of the water in an attempt to bite. So that's what I mean by make a go at me.
Yeah.
And I was safe. I'm 4 feet above the water.
some kind of prey item too. Yeah, not crazy about that. But by the way, you've probably got one of the coolest state jobs on the planet. By the way, you work for the state of Massachusetts, correct?
Yeah, so I work for the Massachusetts Division of Marine Fisheries, and this white shark work we're doing is, for the Division of Marine Fisheries. Where the White Shark Conservancy comes in, it's a nonprofit that its executive director, Cynthia Wigren, started about 7 years ago, and she did it because of a conversation she and I had back then, where she said, "What do you need to get your research done on white sharks?" And I said, "You know what I need is I need a nonprofit to help support that research, because I didn't have a lot of funding coming from the state." And that's exactly what the Conservancy is. It's a foundation, a nonprofit that basically supports research, promotes public safety, and educates the public. So the research platform that we use, the boat that we use, is all supported by the Conservancy. Our spotter plane, they're basically writing checks to help support the research.
You couldn't ask for a better support system.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good example of a private and public partnership that's working. And we're developing, we're producing information that's directly relevant to for education and to public safety. So it's a win-win all around.
Greg, I want to thank you very much for joining us on The Drift.
No, it's been a great pleasure. Any way I can reach out to the public and teach them a little bit more about sharks, you've given me a great opportunity, John. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure.
Caring people, giving back. It's our honor to give them a shout out. And as always, you can find more information on these great folks and more Drift Care segments at driftsociably.com and at Drift Sociably on social media.
Hey Drifters, The Drift comes to you from our sociable DGI Communication Studios. Get the drift?
The one and only Mr. Yachts, Nick Cardoza, has found another beauty, and this has been retrofitted to perfection.
Hey everybody, it's Nick Cardoza coming at you with another episode of Mr. Yachts. Today we're at the 2021 Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, and man, let me tell you, it's been slammed. But we've got a couple of really great boats, which is why I wanted to show you this 2009 95-foot Dominator called Curfew. One of my favorite boats on the display. Come check it out. All right, coming up to this enormous, gigantic, huge flybridge. A lot of boats are designed with an ascending shape so that they're not so top heavy and they look sleek on the water. And this boat certainly incorporated that while making this flybridge almost 2/3 the size of the boat, which gives you an enormous footprint. You might have noticed there's no jacuzzi up here, but they did spare no expense. Let me show you where that is. If there's a better place to put a jacuzzi than up on the bow, I want to know right now. The most ideal place to chill and relax, when you're on anchor and the boat's following the wind, like there's no noise, you got no generator, most of the music is back there on the aft deck or on the flybridge. This is a place where it's otherwise a dead zone, and when there's too many people up on the flybridge, sometimes you don't want to jump in the pool with somebody and have 10 other people around you eating barbecue or whatever. And before I forget, what if I told you could drive the boat from the hot tub? You want to check it out? You don't believe me? Well, tucked away under this little box here, the original owner said, I want to be able to drive my boat from the bow. So check this out. You've got a tiller here. You've got your engine start and stop. You got your bow and stern thruster, your lights, and a few other controls. You can literally drive 24 knots from your jacuzzi on your 95-foot yacht. Not so bad, right? Italian design is special because they managed to keep things that are trendy and modern also in style in the long run, so things don't look dated. There's 3 TVs in the room. They're not aquariums that can be streamed all at the same time or individually. They got new furniture here, sofas, and just, they freshened up a lot of stuff. We got that Rolls-Royce style LED starlit ceiling and recessed LED lights that change colors. All these colors really just make the boat feel really fun, alive, and exciting. So you feel kind of upbeat on this boat. got a 4-stateroom boat here. We've got a master, a VIP, a queen, and a twin. You'll notice how the bed is staggered a little bit off center, so it opens up a big space here. It makes the room a lot larger. You got mirrors on the ceiling again with the LED lights on the top. You got this sliding glass doors right from your bed into a glass tub. Check this out. Isn't this cool? Wait. Ready? Ah, now you see me? Now you don't. That's cool. Touch of a button, the glass frosts and just completely blacks out. They even made a little porch. It's a small access, but look at this. Cool. You get a shower with a balcony right out here. You guys are doing great, I swear. Look at this. Champagne out here. Isn't that something? There's not many sharp edges in this boat. What you find is a lot of flow. You've got this really cool material on the side, this woven material. Kind of reminds me of that Fedship Excellence with the handbag leather stitching. Like, these panels are not cheap. The stuff had a lot of attention put into it. Mirror paneling here, like dark onyx mirror paneling, gives it some style, but also makes it feel open at the same time. A lot of comfort on this boat. There's the philosophy of having the on-deck master, but the upside of having the cabins all down below is you do get to take advantage of the full deck space on the main deck. The whole boat's 95 feet. Probably you got a good 75 feet of interior space to play with. That makes you feel like you got a lot of volume. It's an Italian boat. It has a smaller galley on it, but it's very functional how they designed it. You got this cool little window that opens up, like a serving window. Keep watching. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you on the next boat.
Well, Nick, you found another amazing yacht in Curfew. Simply an Italian beauty. Ciao. Well, Drifters, that's it for this time. As always, thanks for joining us at the social place for boating, The Drift. For more content like this, like, follow, share, and subscribe to The Drift at Drift Sociably, or visit us at driftsociably.com. For all of us here at The Drift, I'm Sierra Goodwill. Drift Sociably. Get the drift?
The Drift has been brought to you by Boat US. Better boating starts here. Join today.